Hi there, my name is Hans Guth. Thanks for taking a look at your new Sellescope report. These are groundbreaking new reports that have helped agents across the country demonstrate their value, show their clients what they're doing for them from a marketing standpoint, and ultimately help the house get sold, either through price reduction. Look, if you've been in this business long enough, you know that even the worst houses will sell if the price is right. But oftentimes, we're hearing that agents are having a difficult time communicating why that price reduction should take place. These reports are exactly what you need to help those conversations go the direction that you want them to go. So let's take a look at the report itself. I'm going to move it down here into its own tab and then reduce its size a little bit. So they are groundbreaking new reports. Nobody else has anything even close to this in terms of presenting the amount of information and what you can convey to your sellers in terms of what you're doing to market their properties. So let's refresh this one here, and I'll just show you when it first loads. And because this one it hasn't been purchased yet, after a few seconds you'll see a little notification here, but we'll close that box here and I'll show you the rest of the report. Let me just wait for that to come up here. So we'll close that. That's how you buy it, by the way. And so first thing you're going to see is the Zillow and Trulia stats for this particular property and for the collective community or zip code that it happens to be in. So for this one, it's been on the market 235 days. That's what we're seeing these days. There's more and more lengthy days on market. It's had 1,308 views, 79 saves, price square footage square feet. There are 164 other homes on the market in this same zip code, so very competitive, or there's a lot of inventory, and the average days on market's 138. So this is just data that you can use to show your sellers what's going on. So now you can say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, look, we've been on the market for a while now. The average days on market is 138. The average number of home saves is 32. You've had 79. So look, you can spin this any way you want to, but you can say to your sellers, we've had more saves than the average. Something must be going on here. The average home views is 603. We've had double that, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. We need to have a conversation, but it doesn't stop there. So that's the first layer. The next layer is the property by property comparison. We just added this in, and this is incredibly powerful. It opens in a new tab because there's just too much information to try and shove into a small tab. So what we're going to do here is show all of the other properties that are in the zip code, and you can filter it by price range, by days on market, views, saves per view, price per square foot. And we've created this correlated score that we start with that basically takes in all these factors and gives it a weighting value between 0 and 100. And so you can see here that as we scroll through, there are a lot of properties. So that's a little bit too much. I'll come back and filter, but you'll see the subject property is right here. That's the property that we're looking at. So let's filter it down a little bit by properties within a 20% price range. And now you can see the properties that are in this price range are actually fewer, first of all, and this one's doing okay. It's near the top of the pack, whereas before it was, I think, a little bit closer to the bottom. And you can come down here and say, let's do it within a 10% price range. Still got a pretty good number of properties. So your sellers can play with this. You can use this and show this in front of your sellers. And now we can say, I want to sort by the number of saves. Also an important metric. So it's been saved more than any other property, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. That means people like it, but they're not buying it. So you kind of can see where you can go with this. How about saves per view? Another important metric, because what you're doing here with saves per view is you're saying, how many times has it been viewed, and then how many times has it been saved? That's an important metric. So let's look at that. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you're still doing great there. It's in third position. This is still a house that people are liking when they see it online, yet for some reason, probably the price, we're not seeing any offers or activity. And as you can see here, there's pros and cons that all these properties have. So again, more information for your sellers to digest. This particular property has more bedrooms, 5 versus 4. It's got a larger size. It's got a lower price per square foot. And this one, the price is higher, however, so it's got some cons. And so you can see how your sellers can go through, or you can go through with them and show them all of this data and explain it to them in a way that makes sense. We also have that correlated score. We explain how we create that metric. Zillow has an article that talks about how properties that have more saves per view do sell faster, typically speaking, if the price is right. So that's that. And now we're going to come down and look at the websites. So we're going to go out and actually find all this information. So you're going to tell your sellers, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I've got your property on Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. I've got it on some competitive websites. You know, I work for Keller Williams, but I've got it on Compass's website. And we go out and pull all these in and grab this information automatically. It's on Redfin. So now you can show your sellers, and if I want to take a look at what the property looks like on Trulia, they can go and do that. There it is. Looks like there's an open house. I mean, they're trying to sell this house. So that's how that works. The next thing you can take a look at is all the other listings on a map. So now you can look at properties on a map that are near your property. And any properties that are within $50,000 are going to be in green. So there's the competition for this particular listing. And then now you can see what has sold in the last 6 months, 1 month, 12 months. So your sellers can look at that data. And then finally, another very powerful graphic and tool is the home valuation. So this is a 10-year automated valuation combined with a number of different AVM tools out there. And so you can see the equity growth over the past 10 years. So 10 years ago, it was just about 300,000. And as you can see now, you know, it's gone steadily up. Well, I shouldn't say steadily. It's gone up with some spikes here and there. And oftentimes your sellers will say, you know, why can't I get this for it back like I could in June? And now you're telling me I can get this. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, look where you started. You know, markets shift, markets change. And now you come down and you can see also what do the other online AVM tools out there say that this property is valued at. And again, this is just data for you to use. Of course, you can just say, look, these don't mean a whole lot, but if it helps your story, then definitely use this. But almost always, this equity growth curve is always going to look like that. And that's the bigger perspective. You're looking at a bigger perspective story, and that's what you have with this tool. So $49.97 is all you have to pay for this report. It lasts for the life of the listing. If you got that link, refresh that link, and I'll show you. You'll have the opportunity to purchase it. After about 10 seconds, that pop-up will show up. Come on, pop-up. And there it is. Purchase it. Put in your information, and you're good to go. You can customize it. You can give us your seller's email address and phone number or mobile, and we will email them on and text them if you want us to on a regular basis. You tell us how often you want it to go out, 3 days, once a week. You decide, and that way you don't even have to think about it. It's just going to go to them. It can also go to you, so you've got the information available to you. So check out the new Sellescope for your property, and let us know if you have any questions. There's a chat box down here during normal business hours that you can go to as well. And thanks for watching.